the time comes upon every public man when it is best for him to keep his lips closed. It is a quality of revolutions not to go by old lines or old laws, but to break up both and make new ones. The assertion that all men are created equal was of no practical use in effecting our separation from Great Britain, and it was placed in the Declaration not for that but for future use. Our defense is in the preservation of the spirit which prizes liberty as a heritage of all men in all lands everywhere. Destroy this spirit and you have planted the seeds of despotism around your own doors. Some day I shall be president. I hope to stand firm enough to not go backward and yet not go forward fast enough to wreck the country's cause. Let the people on both sides keep their self-possession, and just as other clouds have cleared away in due time, so will this, and this great nation shall continue to prosper as before. A living dog is better than a dead lion, Judge Douglas, if not a dead lion, for this work is at least a caged and toothless one. How can he oppose the advances of slavery? He don't care anything about it. I think that slavery is wrong, morally, socially, and politically. I desire that it should be no further spread in these United States, and I should not object if it should gradually terminate in the whole Union. For 67 years ago our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. It is rather for us here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. I have talked with great men, and I do not see how they differ from others. I am like a man so busy in letting rooms in one end of his house that he can't stop to put out the fire that is burning the other. There is another old poet whose name I do not now remember, who said, "Truth is the daughter of time." Illinois surpasses every other spot of equal extent upon the face of the globe in fertility of soul, and in the proportionable amount of the same which is sufficiently level for actual cultivation. Whether slavery shall go into Nebraska or other new territories is not a matter of exclusive concern to the people who may go there. The whole nation is interested that the best use shall be made of these territories. We want them for the homes of free white people. It was that which gave promise that in due time the weights should be lifted from the shoulders of all men, and that all should have an equal chance. This is the sentiment embodied in that Declaration of Independence. He who molds the public sentiment makes statutes and decisions possible or impossible to make. In great contests each party claims to act in accordance with the will of God. Both may be, and one must be wrong. Biographies, as generally written, are not only misleading but false. In most instances, they commemorate a lie and cheat posterity out of the truth. It is a great piece of folly to attempt to make anything out of my early life. Among the friends of union there is great diversity of sentiment and of policy in regard to slavery and the African race among us. The legal right of the Southern people to reclaim their fugitives, I have constantly admitted. The legal right of Congress to interfere with their institution in the states, I have constantly denied. There may sometimes be ungenerous attempts to keep a young man down, and they will succeed too, if he allows his mind to be diverted from its true channel to brood over the attempted injury